Well, we made it to the final rotation of the year, and this was actually the week of holiday travel for me. So it was an interesting, well, part of it was holiday travel week. It was the tail end plus the travel back. So I've got an interesting mix of fragrances that we're going to discuss this week. So stay tuned. Starting off on Sunday, I was still visiting family in Texas. This was one of the citrus heavy fragrances that I brought because it was, high 70s, low 80s the whole time I was there. So more springtime weather. So I went with Raja Parfums Harrods Parfum pour Homme. A gorgeous citrus aromatic slash fougere type of scent profile. This stuff's beautiful. Not reinventing the wheel when it comes to fresh fragrances, but when it comes to quality fresh fragrances, standing tall above most. I can assure you of that. Very pricey fragrance. Don't get me wrong. Definitely a try before you buy kind of thing because of price alone. But it's upscale. It smells upscale like you would expect because it is a Raja Parfums fragrance and because of what they cost. It definitely smells pricey. Worthy of the money? I don't know. That's completely up to you if you get your nose on it. Only you can be the judge if it's worthy of your own hard-earned money. But it's definitely a lovely scent profile, to say the least. Definitely enjoy this one. A lot of citruses up top, a lot of fresh greens. The green color is very fitting. It's exclusive to Harrods, and that seems to be a new trend. There's a Parfums de Marly exclusive for Harrods. There's a Nichane exclusive for Harrods. I believe BDK's got an Harrods exclusive coming, so that seems to be the new hip trend. And I don't know if Raja Parfums was the first to do it, but it's definitely one of the first I know of to do it. So during the day on Sunday, it was Raja Parfums Harrods Parfum pour Homme. When I got the shower, I had just did a rack store hunt that day, and on Sunday and on Monday night, I decided to wear this 2 nights in a row, that being Tommy Bahama. Very cool. So even though this kind of gives me a pina colada kind of vibe, it's not a coconutty type of smell. It's more like a fruity colada because it's fresh, it's inviting, but it's got this creaminess. That's where I get the colada vibe from. I've had people ask me if I think it smells like Sean John 3 a.m. No, I do not. And I checked for Grantica because I didn't know if it was just those handful of people just asking that randomly because they heard it somewhere, but apparently that's supposedly what it smells most like on the Fragrantica profile for this. And faint, similar, there's some similarities, but Sean John 3 a.m. is much more bright and crisp and has more of a tonic water vibe, whereas this is much more creamy and laid back than Sean John 3 a.m. So there are some similarities to the scent profile, but I definitely wouldn't say that 3 a.m. is what this is most similar to. By no means would I say that. So take stuff like that, even take what I say with a grain of salt. Get your nose on it if you can. I would assume at Tommy Bahama stores you can try this. Most of their fragrances, they do have testers in the two different Tommy Bahama stores I've ever been in. Most notably the one in Houston at the Galleria. So definitely try before you buy if that's a concern for you. But for me personally, I don't think they're that similar. I would say maybe 50% at best. But it's definitely a relaxing, enjoyable, easygoing, laid-back type of scent profile. That's what the brand's known for. And out the shower on Sunday and on Monday was Tommy Bahama. Very cool. Moving into Monday, this is one of my favorite cheapy pickups in a long time. Definitely the Elysium vibe. Kind of like a designer Elysium is how you can look at it. With Hugo Reverse from Hugo Boss. 75 ml, 25 bucks. I know that's around what you can get a 4.2 ounce for online, right around 30. Bright, beautiful grapefruit. This is a great grapefruit scent. It really is. Fresh vetiver, a little woody. Definitely has a little bit of that zestiness that's found in Elysium. Though I would relate this more to the Parfum Cologne than Elysium Parfum. I think it's a great way, a great alternative for Elysium. More on the designer level, not necessarily clone level type of stuff like you can get from some of the clone houses, because there's a ton of Elysium clones out there, and I would put this in the market for a designer cheapy Elysium clone. Not one-to-one, but definitely a very strong similarity. This, like I said, would be like the designer take on Elysium Parfum clone. Damn good fragrance for 25 bucks in my opinion. Really enjoy this one. Great freshy. Like a 4-hour fragrance on my skin. Nothing super special. 4 to 5 hours. Definitely spray your clothes on this one to maybe get to the 6-hour range or something like that. But 4 to 5 hours on something super fresh like this, good with that. Especially in the $25 range. I think it's a great fragrance. I really enjoy it. My vote is roll the dice if you see it out. I saw it at Marshall's and I saw a bunch of them at Burlington, which is where I got this one from. So during the day on Monday, Hugo Boss, Hugo Reserved. And like I said before, when I got out the shower 2 nights in a row, I went with Tommy Bahama. Very cool. Moving into Tuesday was my travel day. 16-hour drive straight through back to Colorado. And wanted something long-lasting, enjoyable, easygoing, but not run-of-the-mill. And that was exactly why I brought Effique Vigoro with me on the trip. I was planning on wearing it at some point, and the drive back seemed like perfect for it, where I can just kind of enjoy it myself. It's not too powerful where it would overwhelm my wife sitting next to me. It's definitely my favorite of the 4 available. It's kind of the blue fragrance of the group, not every other blue fragrance. So when I say blue fragrance, it doesn't, jump out at me as, oh, it smells like Dylan Blue or Bleu de Chanel or anything like that. But it's got a blue vibe going for it. It's probably the most mass appealing of the 2 darker ones, which I believe are the 2 that are marketed for men. The 2 clear bottles, white bottles, I believe are marketed for the ladies or as unisex. They're fresher floral fragrances, whereas this doesn't have that challenging, almost burning rubber vibe of Mysterio. That one's a challenging fragrance. It's different. I actually do really like it, but Vigoro for me is definitely the one. If I was to just have one of the 4, it would be Vigoro. This is the one that speaks to me. The scent profile really stands out to me. It's got a little bit of a spice going to it. It's bright. There's a little light fruitiness in the background without making it a very fruity, sweet fragrance. Strong woody presence to it, but it's got a lot of character without being boring. So when I say blue, it's not a boring blue. It's an interesting blue in my opinion. Definitely my vote for the one to try if you're going to try any of the 4. I'm going to drive back on Tuesday, Effique Vigoro. And then when I got out the shower, it was like 3 in the morning when we got home. Hurry up and get a shower. Been driving all day. Needed to shave really bad. So I went ahead and shaved real quick. I actually didn't spray anything, but I'm getting to the very bottom of my Nivea for Men Energy Aftershave Splash. This is my 3rd bottle of this. It's been discontinued for a while. They go for like 50 bucks a bottle on eBay these days. Not worth it for something that used to be like $6. But when I come across them for around 10, 15, 20 bucks, I do scoop them up because this stuff, it's got taurine in it, as you can see right here on the label. It's zesty. It's a very strong citrus smell, and it literally has a warming, uplifting quality. It's invigorating to use this. This is actually an uplifting aftershave from Nivea, of all people, of all companies. This is my favorite aftershave splash ever. It's been discontinued for many years now. That's why when I find it for a decent price, I scoop it up. Not something that I have to have. It's not the end of the world if I never get it again. I've had 3 bottles at this point, but I'm very sparing at this stage with this. But I don't know, I was just in the mood for it. So I shaved right before bed and went with Nivea Energy. Moving into Wednesday, it was time to get back into the groove, back into my usual routine. And I wanted to go with something I have been talking about but not been spending time with. That being Guess 1981 Los Angeles. One of my favorite cheap fragrances. My favorite Guess fragrance overall. The Eros Killer. While Eros, yeah, overall Eros is a better fragrance. I'm not going to sit here and say this is better. But if you're on a $20 budget, yeah, this is better. It's warmer. It's a little bit drier and spicier. It's more geared towards the evening kind of take on Versace Eros. Like I said, not saying it's better than Eros, but for 20 bucks, it's probably the best Eros type scent you can get for 20 bucks. And look, smaller bottles than this, you can get less than 20 bucks. Sometimes you can catch a gift set on clearance at one of these rack stores for less than 20 bucks that have a 50 or a 100 ml bottle in them. if you like the Aero scent profile and you're looking for a budget version, my personal opinion, this is the best budget version. That's not exactly one-to-one. Like I said, black pepper up top, some amber in its core. It's warmer, it's spicier. It's better in the evenings, I think, even more so than Eros, whereas Eros I like to wear during the day, honestly. But during the day, this go-round was Guess 1981 Los Angeles. Then I got the shower. Top note's starting to spoil because this is my original bottle. I've had this for a very long time. I do have a backup bottle as well that's still sealed. Ed Hardy Hearts and Dagger. So Ed Hardy Hearts and Daggers is very fresh, crisp, and spicy. More on the fresh, spicy side. If I remember correctly, it has a tequila note, a martini note, I think it's a martini note that adds this crisp, kind of boozy edge to it. Yeah, that top note's a little spoiled, but after about 2 minutes, that sour citrus up top goes away and it gets into the heart pretty quickly. And the fragrance is still very good. As you can see, I still have, decent amount left to it in the bottle. This bottle's very old. This bottle is like 12 years old. This bottle's very, very old. And I do have a backup bottle that's sealed. That top note should be fine because it's never been sprayed before and it's sealed. But one of the better cheapies out there that gets no love, that in Ed Hardy's heyday, this was a damn cool design. This is kind of a mixture of all of the different Ed Hardy designs and tattoos into one. If I could get it to focus, that would be great. That was always my favorite Ed Hardy logo, as well as the Love Kills Slowly logo. So a lot of the different popular tattoo designs from Ed Hardy's heyday is on the bottle. Interesting cap design. But doesn't really get much love anymore. But the fragrance as a whole, as far as cheap synthetic fragrances, it's a damn good one. Out the shower, Ed Hardy, Hearts and Daggers. Moving into Thursday, my favorite version of Bleu de Chanel that I haven't worn in a while, being Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Never a bad time for this one. Year-round, signature scent worthy. Still zesty up top, has this lemon zest note, but a warm wood fragrance. It's smooth, it's easygoing, but it's polished. Smooth, easygoing, and polished at the same time. There's Isoi Super, there's sandalwood, I want to say there's cashmere wood, there's a variety of woods here, but that lemon zest up top really adds a bright vibrance to the opening. And it radiates off of my skin. It hangs out for like 9 hours on my skin. It just sticks to me. Never becomes a heavy projector, not even in the opening. It's not real heavy. It's moderate at best in the opening. So if you like fragrances that aren't too loud but hang out on your skin, this is one of the best. This really is one of the best. And like I said, it doesn't have just that typical freshy kind of thing going for it, where there's still some freshness, but this is more of a warm woody fragrance than it is the freshy that the EDP or the original Eau de Toilette Bleu de Chanel is. I hope they make an elixir. Haven't heard anything, considering Dior started it off with Sauvage elixir. Now we got Paco Rabanne's 1 million elixir. I hope they make an elixir version of Bleu de Chanel, because I'm sure it's going to be phenomenal. And I'll pay full price for that one, just like I did for this one, because some fragrances deserve all the money. And in my opinion, Bleu de Chanel Parfum deserves all the money. Then we got the shower. Went with something very fresh. Penguin Premium Blend. Super bright, fresh, crisp, aquatic, minty, a little green. Just enjoyable. This stuff smells good. A great $15 cheapie gem. It really is. Synthetic, yeah. If you're more of a niche fragrance, high-end designer, private line kind of guy, you'll hate this fragrance. You'll think it's awful because it's super synthetic. It's a $15 cheapie. But if you like the cheapies, it's a good little gem. You can't go wrong here. Not breaking the mold on unique, fresh DNAs by any means. It's been done to death. But it's been done pretty well here with Penguin Premium Blend. I believe this might even be the most popular of the Penguin fragrances here in the community. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but it's the one I've always seen get the most love. While they do have a lot of solid cheapies from Penguin, this might be the freshest and most enjoyable of them all. So if you see it out there, 15 bucks, you could do a lot worse with $15 than getting your hands on Penguin Premium Blend. Moving into Friday, I actually wore this during the day and out the shower because I was enjoying it that much. I just dropped a full review on it. I've had this one for years, and for some reason just never did a full review. That being Homme Intense, supposedly recently discontinued. I can neither confirm nor deny, but what I can say is if you like Iris, it's a must-own. One of the better designer Iris fragrances ever created. If indeed it is discontinued, that's sad to hear, but not necessarily for me because I have 2 bottles. So I'm good. I've got 200 ml. Not completely full. I mean, this one's like down here or something like that. Not a huge dent, but like a quarter of it, third of it, about a quarter of it's gone. And then I have another bottle that doesn't see the light of day, hiding away, preserved for a later date if and when I ever need it. But if you're into designer Iris fragrances, like I said, it's a must-own. It's one of the best cold weather Iris fragrances in my personal opinion. It's one I wear every single winter, and I was enjoying it so much. After I took my shower that evening, I went ahead and sprayed it on again. So all day on Friday, Homme Intense. Finally, on Saturday, as of a midnight New Year's Eve pre-sale launch, Zaharoff just started pre-orders for Signature Royale X. So I've had this decant for some time. As you can see, I've put a decent little dent. The most recent time that I've wore it was when me and George did that little event at Door Prestige in California. I had brought it with me and I wore it one night while we were out there. This is the 18% EDP from the lab batches, the test batches. I believe the retail route is 28%, I believe was what we talked about. Bottles haven't been filled yet. They're about to be. That's why he wanted to go ahead and do the pre-sale for you guys. And so it's actually 10% higher oil concentration than this even. It's a musky delight. The whole theme behind it is it's a risque, scandalous type of fragrance because it is a much more musky sex type of musk, basically, is what George wanted from it, and he accomplished it. Challenging, I wouldn't call it super challenging by any means, but not some safe run-of-the-mill fragrance either. It's a little risque. Really is. He accomplished what he was looking for here. The storytelling aspect of perfumery never ceases to amaze me. It's the most fun part in my opinion. And George is trying to tell a very specific story with Royale X, and I can't wait for more people to smell it. I won't be doing a full review until I get the full presentation so I can show everything to you guys. But I'm very familiar with the fragrance and I don't want to spoil too much right now. But if you're ready to go ahead and pre-order it, save 10% on your pre-order. There's always a link with the discount code down in my video descriptions. And jump on it. It's not going to be permanent in the collection. It's even stated in the listing that this will not be a permanent fragrance in the signature line. So get them while they got them kind of thing. So during the day on Saturday, the lab batch, the 18% version of Zaharoff's Signature Royale. And I just got out the shower right before recording this and haven't sprayed anything yet. So I kind of feel like going with Hugo Reserve, to be honest with you, because it's that good. I don't spray my chest in the evenings. I usually spray in front of my neck so it'll just radiate all up in my face and I can smell it. And grapefruit. If you like grapefruit or you like Elysium or you're looking for a cheap way to smell like Elysium, this is very, very similar. So out the shower here on Saturday, I just sprayed on Hugo Reversed. Well, that's the weekly rotation for week number 109. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. Those of you familiar with this format in the weekly rotation, you know what I want to see. What did your rotation look like this week? Let me know down in the comments. It's my favorite comments of the week to read. It really is. I get a lot of joy out of that just to see what you guys are wearing. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, we're discussing the hobby. We're enjoying the hobby together. That's what this channel is about. And I love reading what you guys' rotation look like. And until next time, I will say if you get your hands on any of the fragrances I wore in my rotation and you give them a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.